チだよ。柔らかいベッドとマッサージ。
あと料理だな。
Hello everybody, this is Ahmed here, and I want to talk about today the westernization of JRPGs. Very strange topic to talk about, I know, but I'm going to be calling this like show or podcast or discussion, whatever, the double-edged sword, because there are two sides to every story, and this one has two sides. The reason why I picked this topic is because I've been playing Final Fantasy 15 recently, been 6 hours in, enjoying my time with it, and I've been talking with my friend from a YouTube channel and website called Project COE. His name is Jared Nickel, very expert, has very expert thoughts of the game industry, and he's been around for a long time. He and Steven are doing amazing things with the YouTube channel, so definitely go check them out. So yeah, our back and forth talks was like how, no, it was not sad, but how interesting the progression of JRPGs in today's age compared to the golden age of the PS1 and PS2 days. What I've noticed is, especially with 15 and all the RPGs, most of the JRPGs in the spotlight, they have this MMO type Western feel to it. Even the Japanese ones, like they've turned completely into a westernized MMO type game, but on single player. Xenoblade, for example, Xenoblade X, Final Fantasy 15. There are a lot of these games, even like Japanese games that are not RPGs, like Metal Gear Solid, for example, 5, the Phantom Pain. They've been following this route of open world, fetch questing, lots of side quests, just doing whatever the hell you want, real-time action-based battles instead of turn-based, all stuff that has been taken from the MMO world of video games. And I'm not sad, it's just it's fun and all, but the reason they're doing it is because it's where it works and it offers a lot of content to the game, and there's obviously this mass appeal. But I always look back and I find it sad that most of the JRPGs in the spotlight are like turning into Western MMO games in comparison to the PS1 and PS2 games, with the golden age, I would call them, of JRPGs, in which like JRPGs still had the essence of JRPGs. I can't exactly say what makes an JRPG like special. There are certain things that are synonymous with JRPGs, or should be synonymous with JRPGs, like turn-based battles, not this like action-based hybridized system, an open world that's not exactly like you can do whatever you want in it. Lots of side quests, sure, but there's like a focus on story as well, in comparison to the JRPGs and the AAA ones that are around now, that don't have a lot of focus on story, and they mostly they have this like Western feel. They're focused more on the side quests in comparison to the plot. Obviously a lot of people are going to tell me right now and call me out on something that, hey, JRPGs are being released today. What are you talking about? Allow me to contemplate on this by saying this. JRPGs, the ones that are released today, what platforms are they being released on? Most of them, at least, the ones that are staying true to the essence of JRPGs. You find them on the handhelds, like the 3DS, which is oversaturated with these classic JRPGs games, and downloads. Example, like I Am Setsuna, for example, that's one game. It's just, while these platforms are viable and all, it's just sad that most of the AAA ones that are in the spotlight don't follow the format anymore. It's not just ignoring turn-based battles. I don't know, there's this it factor to JRPGs that I can't really explain. A lot of people who have been playing like the PS1, PS2 glory days of JRPGs would understand what I'm saying. Obviously that's in addition to the stuff like not being turn-based and whatnot. Even traditional games like Dragon Quest, for example, I applaud Dragon Quest for the longest time staying true to the roots of a JRPG, and it's awesome that they're still doing that. But with 11, they finally caved in, and the reason that they're doing that with 11 in particular, they want to bring back a Western audience. They want like appeal for Dragon Quest, which is as popular. They want to make it as popular as Final Fantasy in the West, which is an impossible task, but they're trying as much as they can. So you see the Dragon Quest 11 PS4 trailer, and it's the same thing. It's open world. Seems that it's going to be action oriented. They're like removing all the things that actually like the components of a JRPG. I'm wondering if it's going to lose the it factor of Dragon Quest and JRPGs. I'm not quite sure about that. People who played 10 would like, I guess they'll give me the counterpoint opinion, because 10 is an MMO type game, single player MMO, and it has like an MMO feel to it, but I don't know, did it remove the essence of JRPGs? Did it remove the essence of Dragon Quest? That's what I'm not sure about, but from what I'm seeing, my pal Jared, he's the guy who was in Project COE, he's been doing a Let's Play of Dragon Quest X with friends, and he's been posting videos. It seems that they're enjoying themselves, but is it because it has the Western feel of like having a lot of side quests and being an MMO type, or has it lost its essence? Has Dragon Quest lost its essence with this game? But Dragon Quest is doing something smart. They have a 3DS version, and the 3DS version doesn't seem that it's going to be following the action-oriented, like westernized feel. It's going to be catering more to the hardcore fans of Dragon Quest and JRPGs in general, which is really, really cool. But at the same time, it's still on handheld. It's not like in the spotlight. It doesn't have like all the people who have this budget, the AAA budget with millions and millions of dollars. They're not going to make a turn-based JRPG in the spotlight. There are a few exceptions, and I could just name, for example, 2 JRPGs. What I think that these are the ones that stay true to the essence and the it factor of JRPGs, the ones that are released this generation, the modern generation, which is the multi-platform generation, I would like to call the PS3, the 360, the Xbox One, and the PS4. 2 games. First off, Lost Odyssey, and the other one is Ni no Kuni. You play both of them, you feel that you're transported back to the glory days, to the PS2, to the PS1, even to the Super Nintendo. It feels that they reserved something. I don't know what the developers of these games did, but there's the it factors there. They reserved. It's not just the turn-based, and it's not just how the world is structured and how the side quests, you know, all this, the structures of all this. Is there something else? I don't know, with the plot, with the progression that makes me call them like real JRPGs with AAA budgets, basically. Lost Odyssey turned out very, very well, but I would argue that Ni no Kuni is the better one that like stayed true to the essence. Lost Odyssey, because obviously the guy responsible is Mr. Sakaguchi, who is the father of JRPGs with the guy Yuji Horii of Dragon Quest. So the guy knows his stuff, obviously, with Mistwalker, and Microsoft, they give him an insane amount of backing with the budget and all. Even though they didn't market the game at all, but it's an underrated gem. If you want to play like a JRPG that's trying to like innovate and at the same time stay true to the roots of the genre, Lost Odyssey is one of the first picks, and it was recently offered free for Xbox One. I hope everybody managed to download that gem. Even if you didn't manage to download it for free, it's worth 20. It's definitely worth 20. It's developed by the guys who made Shadow Hearts. They're called Fear Plus. They were called Nautilus, I think. And it has a twist with the battle system. It's turn-based, but it has this real-time feel to it, a la the Super Mario RPG series. So you like have to time the presses exactly with the ring. And it had an amazing plot, and the writing, the localization. Oh my god, the Tale of the Thousand Years, I think it's called. It's just like text and effects. You know, like it's like an interactive book. Absolutely amazing and engrossing. You're just reading. There's no voice acting, and it's just so good. Ni no Kuni, like I was saying, it's a better one than Lost Odyssey in terms of the essence of JRPGs. You feel that it's being influenced by a lot of things. Obviously, Studio Ghibli with the artwork. It has a lot of Pokemon, has a lot of Dragon Quest, and it has a lot of Final Fantasy as well. It's like 3 games in one, and when you play it, you feel that you're playing something from the yesteryear, but modernized for current generations. And I wish that more JRPGs with this type of budget remain in the spotlight, but unfortunately I don't think it's viable enough, even though Ni no Kuni did sell well. Not bad for what it's doing. And to be fair, I'm glad that Level 5 is one of the few people who are balancing between having their JRPG gems for the handheld and having like the big budget ones from time to time on the modern generation. True testament to this is Ni no Kuni 2 that's coming out later next 2017, which is absolutely cool. The other one that a lot of people are also interested in is Persona 5. That has a not bad of a backing to it. It's not like millions of dollar budget as Final Fantasy 15, but it still has a big budget nonetheless, and it's in the spotlight. A lot of like JRPG hardcore fans are paying attention to this one. And it does stay true to the roots of what a JRPG should be, like not just the turn-based. It's just like the progression, the way the it factor, the plot, the structure of the game. You know, there's some things that I really can't explain. I can't put my finger on, but when you play, you understand. So yeah, it's just like I said. I just hope that big developers with the big budget continue that tradition. There are some who tried, unfortunately, last year, but didn't work out for them, and it really pains me to say that it didn't work out for them for all the wrong reasons. One example is Tri-Ace with Star Ocean. Integrity and Faithlessness. It's a very complicated name, twisted my tongue there, but Star Ocean is a legacy series. It's been running since the Super Nintendo, and for me, a new installment in this day and age, it was an impossibility, but it happened, and I'm really happy it did. I didn't play Star Ocean 5 yet, but I want to. But the problem is, the mainstream media bashed the hell out of it. Look, I'm not saying that Star Ocean is a perfect game. They do have their flaws, and in particular, the camera is one of the common ones that. The biggest complaint of the game is the camera, and I'm surprised they didn't patch it. But at the same time, when I read reviews, like the biggest annoyance with these reviews, they try to like compare it to Mass Effect. Oh, it's stuck in the past. It's not modern enough. You know, these stupid criticisms that don't make any sense whatsoever. Star Ocean is Star Ocean. It's a JRPG. It should not mimic Mass Effect. It should be influenced by some aspects of Mass Effect, but it should stay true to what Star Ocean should be, basically. And I think 5 did that more than the reviews we're talking about. I really think it did. Like I said, it's not perfect, it's not amazing. I'm not saying it's a great game, but it's for the fans, for the JRPG fans, for the Star Ocean fans. And it's obvious from the game, because a lot of people have been praising the battle system, for example. They evolved it, they took the ideas from Star Ocean 4 and made it even better. So a lot of people like saying it's better than Star Ocean 4, but it's getting lower scores than Star Ocean 4. What's the deal? I like Star Ocean 4, but I realize its flaws, and there are a lot of things that are like really jarring with the game, especially when it comes to the faceless. I don't know, let's say the very pale character models, and localization. The voice acting was absolutely terrible, but it did a lot of things right. Like it had that JRPG progression with the side quests and plot and backtrack. It had like this structure that was really cool, but again, it's not perfect. And Star Ocean 5 evolved. It made it better. It's better than Star Ocean 4 definitely, but it's getting lower scores because people are comparing it to the Western RPGs. Hey, why is it not like Witcher? Why is it not like Mass Effect? And it's just, to me, you have to have a frame of comparison. You can't compare Star Ocean with Mass Effect. They're both different. You can compare Star Ocean with Tales. That's a fair comparison, I think, because they're both similar. They have a similar structure. They're both JRPGs and they have like similar feels to it. And speaking of Tales, I want to take feedback from you guys. I haven't been caught up with Tales in a long time. Last one I played and really enjoyed was Symphonia. But there's one that's getting released soon, Berseria, whatever it's called, very strange names with these Tales games. And I feel that for me it's amazing that they're releasing Tales games in a constant basis. When like a couple of years ago there was a big like drought for Tales localization in North America and Europe. Like they didn't do any, they kept everything in Japan, and then they restarted it once again, realizing that there's a big market for Tales in the West and for English-speaking audiences. But I'm wondering, has Tales lost its essence? Is it one of those series, JRPG series, which have been westernized or not? That's what I want to get feedback from you guys. I'm wondering if there are any Tales veterans out there who could like reply to me, tell me, hey, is Xillia 2, for example, something that's been too westernized, or are they staying true to the Tales series and what JRPGs are about? And I guess that's it with my talk, basically. I hope you've enjoyed this discussion / podcast. And tune in later in the channel for more videos. And again, if you want like any, obviously feel free to suggest anything, improvements, critiques, feedback in the comments. I would really appreciate that. That's what I like the most, feedback, that constructive feedback to these things. And the discussion going on regarding JRPGs and are they westernized? Am I like crying for something that shouldn't be, like, am I making a situation out of a thing that's small, or am I making sense here with like all these red flags of big AAA Japanese developers making their JRPGs westernized, like taking the MMOs from it. One last thing before I sign off, we were pinpointing why this happened, where this started, what's the game or the games that influenced JRPGs being like westernized or having this MMO type feel. I got two in mind. The one me and Jared immediately said was GTA 3. We both wrote it at the same time. Grand Theft Auto 3 it just didn't change the scope of JRPGs. It changed the scope of gaming in general. It sort of like blurred the lines in what's an action game, what's an RPG, what's a JRPG. Like all these systems or all these genres are like, you see that these days they're being combined into one, thanks to Grand Theft Auto 3 and its open world, do anything you want type mechanic. And you see a lot of games, like even first-person games, being influenced or taking an RPG type progression and inserting it into their game. Even like games that are action-based, like Modern Warfare 2, for example. For me, that changed the scope of first-person shooter multiplayer entirely, because they took a level-up progression that's typically seen in JRPGs and inserted it into the game, and it made it really addictive. I started playing first-person games again thanks to Modern Warfare 2. So it's not just Japanese developers being influenced by like Western mechanics. It's Western games being influenced by typically Japanese mechanics or RPG mechanics. So it goes both ways. The other game that I think, I recently thought of this, is World of Warcraft. I think, yeah, it's an MMO. The MMO, the Western MMO that changed the scope of MMOs and changed the scope even of RPGs and Japanese RPGs in general. Warcraft sold like crazy, man. Everybody like enjoyed the hell out of that game, and they still enjoy it to this very day. And I think that's one reason why people started looking at Warcraft and like realizing that okay, we could make a like single player offline JRPG and take like some aspects and design mechanics from Warcraft and insert it into our single player offline games. And most of the time, like I said, it's not sad. It's not bad. It works. I love Final Fantasy 15. It's just like when I look at how it progressed, it's just a bit sad compared to the PS1, PS2 days. But yeah, Warcraft definitely helped pave the way with these like westernized or MMO type RPGs that are being released on consoles. Because before, all the Western RPGs were confined to PC. I think that's around the PS2 era. And then once we got to the 360 era, Mass Effect was like BioWare, and even the original Xbox. BioWare was one of the first like big Western developers. They're from Canada, which made the Western RPG a viable genre for consoles, not a PC. I think they sort of like paved the way for people like Bethesda and Fallout to be released on console, and even the Elder Scrolls series, which were usually confined to PC, to like move to consoles, because they found it as a viable like platform, a viable platform actually, instead of being just confined to the PC space. And it's really interesting to see that all these like Western developers who are really scared of like jumping ship to consoles and are now like consoles like is a commonplace now. Okay, we release our game on PC and release it on consoles, even though we're a Western RPG. So Mass Effect and like Jade Empire, the Knights of the Old Republic, I think these games also sort of like teased Western developers to popularize the genre or the Western RPG genre outside of the PC, which in turn influenced also JRPGs to start doing that as well, and like getting the design mechanics from Western games instead of like keeping with the traditions of Japan. So yeah, I think I'm done with my discussion. Hope you guys enjoyed once again. Signing off, for real this time. And we'll catch you later with another video. Peace out. Bye.